Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another lesson on euphemism. So in this lesson, I will look at euphemisms relating to crime. So on this slide, the two euphemisms here are incarcerated and due time. And these are related to in prison. So when we talk about someone being in prison. So let's go to the next slide and look at some sentences. So incarcerated, we see here is a verb. So, and in this sentence, Mike was incarcerated for 10 years. So instead of saying Mike was in prison for 10 years, we replace that with incarcerated. And here, incarceration is a noun. So the incarceration rate in this country is very high. Instead of saying the crime rate, we say the incarceration rate. So moving along. So do time or serve time, same thing. Mike is currently doing time or serving time for his crime. So again, replacing it with Mike is in prison for his crime. We say Mike is serving time or doing time. And then Mike has been doing time for the past 10 years. If you don't want to do the time, don't do the crime. So just a little bit of rhyming here in these sentences. So on this slide, we see prison and prisoner. And then the euphemism for prison is correctional facility. So this is the place where the prisoners are locked up. So Mike is serving time at the correctional facility in Kingston, Ontario. So instead of saying Mike is in prison, Mike is at the correctional facility. And then the prisoner, so the person who is in prison or in the correctional facility is the prisoner. So this is the person who has gone to court and stood before the judge, and the judge said, "You are guilty." So another name for the prisoner is inmate. So the inmates at this facility will be transferred to a new building. So you will hear prisoners being referred to as inmates. So young criminal, so anyone under 18 is a young criminal, or preferably juvenile delinquent or young offender. There are too many juvenile delinquents in this city. And then we have person of interest and taken into custody. So the person of interest or the suspect. So let's say there is a crime and the law enforcement officers, they're not sure who has committed the crime. So the person who they think committed the crime, this person is known as the suspect or the person of interest, preferably. And then when they believe they have the correct person, then that person is arrested, or we say that person is taken into custody. So Mike was taken into custody 5 minutes after he robbed the bank. So Mike didn't get very far. And then we have capital punishment. And we say this instead of death penalty, avoiding saying the word death, even though that's what it is. So capital punishment has been banned in many countries. So capital punishment, the euphemism for death penalty. And then last but not least, a juvenile detention center. So this is the place where the young offender or the young criminal, the juvenile delinquent is locked up, or colloquially, a juvie. So juvie is the place where the young offenders are locked up. So thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.